I remember the precise click of the door latch that night. It wasn't loud, but it carried a strange sense of finality, like something ending, something quietly shattering. The air in our living room felt tight, as if it were holding its breath. "Where are you going?" I asked, keeping my voice steady. Sarah didn't turn immediately. She stood near the doorway, phone in her hand, purse hanging loosely off her shoulder. "Out," she said at last, her tone flat, detached. "Out where?" She exhaled, the kind of sigh people give when their decision is already made. "I just need space." "Michael, don't make this harder." For a moment, I almost let her walk out. It would have been easier than another fight, easier to let silence swallow us again. But something inside me, something tired of fading into the background like a shadow, refused to stay quiet. "Space," I said. "You've had space for months, Sarah. You've been here, but not really present." That made her face me. Her expression was calm. Too calm. "You think this is all on me?" she asked. "You think you've been perfect?" "No," I replied, slowly shaking my head. "But I've been here. You stopped being mine long before tonight." Her lips parted like she wanted to throw something sharp at me, but nothing came out. Instead, her eyes dropped to her phone. The glow from the screen washed her face in cold light. I inhaled deeply. "Who is he?" The question fell between us like glass on tile. She didn't move, but her grip on her phone tightened. "You're paranoid," she murmured. "Not everything is about another man." "Then tell me where you're going." "I don't owe you that," she snapped, her voice suddenly cracking. "You're not my keeper, Michael." "I never wanted to be your keeper," I said quietly. "I just wanted to be your home." That stopped her. The silence that followed wasn't calm. It was heavy, full of unspoken years and moments we'd buried behind tired smiles. Her jaw clenched, her eyes glimmering with something trapped between guilt and frustration. "You don't get it," she whispered. "I feel trapped here." "By what?" I asked. "By me, or by the life we built?" Her silence answered for her. I sat down on the couch, the one where we'd once fallen asleep watching movies on lazy Sundays. I stared at the empty spot beside me, still shaped by her presence. "I used to think love was about keeping promises," I said quietly. "But now I realize it's about staying when leaving would be easier." Sarah's hand trembled slightly as she reached for the doorknob again. "I just need one night," she breathed. "One night to do what?" I asked. "Decide if you still love me, or if he's worth it." Her eyes widened, not like someone caught in a lie, but like someone caught in the truth. "I can't do this right now," she muttered. "Yes, you can," I replied. "Because walking out doesn't fix anything. It just proves what's already broken." She paused, her fingers digging into her purse strap. "Why are you saying this?" "Because I'm done begging for scraps of honesty," I said. "If you're leaving, then leave. But if you're staying, then actually stay. Be here." For the first time in months, she had no comeback. Her eyes softened, and something in her expression cracked. Maybe she finally realized I wasn't going to chase her anymore. I leaned back, exhausted. "Go ahead, Sarah. Walk out. But understand this. Every step you take away from me tonight is one you can't take back tomorrow." Her hand loosened on the doorknob. The ticking clock echoed through the silence. She stood frozen, as if each tick pushed her closer to a choice she wasn't ready to make. Finally, she whispered, "You're not supposed to say things like that." "Why not?" I asked. "Because it's true." Her eyes met mine and lingered. And for the first time, I saw fear in them. Not fear of me, but fear of what might disappear if she walked away. And that was the moment everything shifted. She released the doorknob and stepped back, the purse slipping from her shoulder and landing on the floor with a soft thud. For a few seconds, she just stood there, her breathing shaky, eyes flicking between me and the exit like she was trapped between two versions of herself. The version desperate to escape, and the version that still remembered what it meant to stay. "You always do this," she finally said, her voice cracking. "You say things that make me feel guilty." "I'm not trying to make you feel anything," I said. "I'm just tired of pretending we're okay." Her gaze softened, and I watched the fight fade out of her. She leaned against the wall, arms crossed like a shield. You think I don't hate this? You think I haven't tried? Tried what, Sarah? I asked. Tried talking? Tried listening? Or just tried seeing how far you could push before I stopped caring? She flinched. That's not fair. Neither's walking away from someone who's been here the whole time, I said quietly. The words lingered between us, sharp but worn with exhaustion underneath. Years of quiet ache wrapped in frustration. For a while we said nothing. I could hear the wind brushing the window, the distant hum of a streetlight outside. The house felt too big, too silent. When she finally spoke again, her voice was small. There isn't another man. I didn't respond. I just watched her, waiting for the truth that always showed up late. It's me, she continued. I wake up and I don't even know who I am anymore. I thought leaving for a night might help me breathe again. I nodded slowly. So running felt easier than being honest. She looked like she wanted to argue, but stopped. Her eyes glistened with unshed tears. You used to know how to talk to me, she whispered. Now every word feels like a wall. I let out a low exhale. Walls don't build themselves, Sarah. They take two people laying every brick. That struck her. She rubbed her forehead and sank into the armchair across from me. Her shoulders slumped, as though every buried conversation had suddenly surfaced and settled there. For the first time in months, we looked at each other, really looked. Not as opponents or strangers, but as two people who'd forgotten how to meet in the middle. I don't want to hate you, she said softly. Then stop leaving me piece by piece, I replied. My voice wasn't angry anymore, just worn, with the exhaustion of someone who'd cared too deeply for too long. After a moment, she whispered, You said your words changed everything. What did you mean? I thought for a second. I meant I'm not chasing you anymore. I'm not begging. I'm giving you the choice to stay or walk away for good. But whichever you choose, you'll have to own it. Her lips trembled. And if I stay? Then we start telling the truth again, I said. Even when it hurts. The silence that followed wasn't empty now. It was fragile, like something new was trying to form from the ruins of what we'd lost. She held my gaze, eyes searching. Do you really think we can fix this? I shrugged. I don't know, but I know walking away won't. She rose slowly, picked up her purse, and set it on the table instead of her shoulder. Then she walked toward me, hesitating just a few feet away. I don't even know where I was planning to go tonight, she said with a faint, tired smile. I do, I replied. Anywhere that didn't feel like me. That made her laugh, a quiet, broken laugh that still sounded like the woman I once loved. Maybe I should remember why I married you, she whispered. Or maybe, I said gently, we both need to remember who we were before we started trying to fix each other. She nodded, wiping her eyes with the back of her hand. You're not going to ask me to stay? I don't have to, I said. If you still want to be here, you will be. And with that, she walked past the door she almost escaped through and sat beside me on the couch. For a long while, neither of us spoke. The clock kept ticking, steady, relentless. But the silence between us no longer felt like an ending. It felt like the beginning of a reckoning. Quiet, delicate, and maybe, just maybe, worth fighting for. Outside, the night continued as if nothing had changed. But inside our home, everything had.